Hello everyone, welcome to Stitches with Charlie Feathers. I've no idea what number we're on because I didn't check it before I pressed the record button. I'm finally back. God, a bit out of breath. I've just been racing around the house trying to collect all the FOs to show you, and I've got really hot now. But yeah, my plan was to, as I kept saying, I haven't been missing in action. I know I've said on my couple of Flosstube extras that I've uploaded since the last Flosstube that I would be taking my WIP basket to the woods and I would be showing you all my WIPs. But do you know what? I realised this basket's really heavy. There's no way I'm carrying that to the woods, and my tripod and my microphone and everything else that I need to take with me, like the blanket, my water. It just wasn't happening, guys. So I'm really sorry. This is not a Flosstube out in nature. This is a Flosstube here in my little crafty space. And I did try and do a little bit of a tidy up for you before I started. So yeah, it's a bit chaotic in here at the moment. So yeah, I hope you're all well. And a massive thank you to so many of you once again. Like, you just blow my socks off every time in between Flosstubes with all your lovely likes and comments and shares and your support of my small business, Charly Feathers. And I'll be talking about that more at the end of this video. So if that's something you're not interested in, then you can just skip that part of the video. But yeah, you've all been amazing, and I'm so incredibly humbled and grateful for you all being here. And we've had quite a few new subscribers, so hello to you all. I think quite a lot of you have come over from Stitchy Sally because she mentioned me a few times, and Amy, lovely Amy from Pearls and Ponderings, she mentioned me. Crafty Yams, Marianne, yeah, just so many of you, and on Instagram, just sharing my posts and yeah, private messaging me on there and having a conversation. It's just, yeah, this community is just incredible. And yeah, I just, every time I bring out a video, it just seems to be growing more and more, this sense of community, and I'm just, yeah, I'm blown away by it, so thank you. So today I've got a couple of finished objects to show you. I'm going to share and have a nosy in my WIP basket, which is just overflowing, and I wouldn't say I'm overwhelmed with it because I'm really enjoying my stitching, but I was always one of those stitchers that tried to keep my WIPs to a minimum, and I always said I'm never going over 20. 20 is the limit, but you know, like I've gone over 20 and I'm just really enjoying myself, so I'm not going to feel bad about it. Every so often the overwhelm creeps in and I think, oh, I'm never going to get through these WIPs. And I had a conversation on Instagram with Cross Stitch Sarah the other day, who's a very dear friend. Hello, Sarah. And she just said, you know, you're enjoying yourself, so just let go of it all. So that was good advice. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself, and you know, I've started model stitching now for my lovely friend Yasmin. Yasmin's Made with Love, who many of you know. She's a fantastic designer, and myself and Kim Stitchy Squirrels has joined the model stitch team. So, oh, it's so lovely. And now that I'm model stitching mainly Monday to Friday, that is taking away some of my personal stitching time. So my WIPs are gonna, you know, get a bit more out of control than they used to, but it's fine. And yeah, I'm trying to think, I finished 3 models, I think, since I last spoke to you, and 2 of those were fairly large. So yeah, I can share one of them because this one's been, I put this here, so I need to put a picture there. This is the Owl Quaker sampler, which I was stitching last time I recorded the Flosstube. I may have just finished it and about to send it off, but I couldn't share it with you yet. I think that's how I recall it, because Yasmin hadn't released it in her Patreon, but it is fully released now, and it was such a beautiful stitch. I really loved it, and I am going to stitch this one for myself. It was stitched with Tom and Lily Creations floss, and the variegation in that floss just yeah, blew my socks off. It was absolutely stunning. So I posted that off to Yaz and she put it in the beautiful gold frame. I'm sure many of you have seen it. If not, pop over to her Instagram and have a look. And oh, it's just so nice to see because she has it on her wall where she records her Flosstube, and a little a little piece of me is always with her, which is really nice. And then since then, I've finished her mystery garden sampler, which I think it's just about to start actually. I think it's on Tuesday, this Tuesday, the 15th of August, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, if you're part of her Patreon, then you will be included in that. But it's a beautiful garden sampler in Tom and Lily floss again. And yeah, it's a stunner. And I just can't wait to be able to share a finished picture of that with you all once all the parts are released. And then I've stitched another one for her, which was a bit of more of a small to medium design, which I can't share any more details about, unfortunately, at the moment. But again, another beautiful stitch. So because I stitched those three in quite quick succession, I took a little mini break because it coincided with my husband taking the girls away to my mother and father-in-law's caravan in Dorset. They live near the Jurassic coast there, and they went looking for fossils on the beach. They were away for the whole weekend, so I thought this is perfect. I'll take, well, it'll be just over a week that I've took off model stitching, and I've started a few new things to add to the ever-growing WIP basket, and yeah, just try to finish off a few things as well. So it's been a really lovely, relaxing week of stitching and working on my own business. So, but I will be itching to get back to model stitching tomorrow, and I can share the one that I'm working on at the moment because Yaz has released that, so that will be included in my WIPs. But yeah, let's show you the FOs since I last spoke to you. So I finished July. The lovely little, I'll hold it over here, the lovely little freebie from the stitching cabin. And I stitched this on a 32 count. I think it was vintage cream. This was left over from Strawberry. What was that one called? Strawberry House, that Amanda the Alba Stitcher gifted to me. So yeah, I love this little. It's so cute. And the next one, I just thought, if I not got a board to put things on. Oh, I've got a book down here that will do the job. Oh, that is on the Leaning Tower of Pisa by my desk. And the next one I've got to show you is this beauty. And this is Bundled Up Birdie. This is a freebie from Blue Ribbon Designs. And I stitched this with some of the Cool 4D MCs and some classic colour works and some Weeks dye works. I think it was some of the threads that I had left over, well, that I've still got from my Patchwork Rabbit advent calendar from last Christmas. And I stitched this on what did I stitch that on? Oh, a Permin, a 32 count French country needle, which is this really lovely, I would say it's more like a green toned brown linen. I loved stitching that, and I did that as a stitch along with who did I stitch this with? Oh, Rebecca Bowen 30. I'm sure that's her name on Instagram. And then the star of the show, you can see her here. I'll just grab her. My lovely, sorry, there is going to be glare. There you go. My lovely Dear Dreams by Barbara Anna. I absolutely adore this. I think this may possibly be one of my favourite Barbara Annas. Oh, I just absolutely love it. You may notice that I left off the sun and the sun rays coming off at the top. I just didn't really I wanted to keep this design quite minimalist and to fit within this frame. It's from the range. It was a bargain frame. I think it was £3, £2.80 something, I think. It was less than £3 and it's glass. So yeah, managed to get the back on this one, and it hangs up on the wall, on my Barbara Anna wall, which is in this hallway just outside my craft room. But for today, I thought we'd have her here. There we go. Okay, so let's go through the WIPs. So I think I counted just before, well, I looked in my stitch diary just before I started, and I think I'm up to, I think it's either 22 or 23. So yeah, let's just go from the top of the pile until we work through them. So this is actually the model stitch that I'm stitching for Yasmin at the moment, and yeah, I can share this. It's fully released. It was part of her Patreon, and this is Monarch Quaker, and this shading in here is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. It's absolutely stunning. This is such a lovely design from Yaz, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and this is the one that I'll pick back up tomorrow, and I'll finish the bottom part of this wing, and then I'm going to go back and start down at the other medallion. I call this a medallion. I don't know what the actual word for it is, but there's another medallion here that's quite large, so I'm going to start on that one next. But yeah, the flosses in this are just absolutely stunning. Yeah, just a really nice mix of oranges and yellows, and 310 and 3799, and some of my floss drops I made to hold them on. So yeah, that's number one. Well, I don't class that as a WIP actually. That's a model. Okay, the next one I've got in this lovely seahorse bag, and it says, "I have heard the mermaids singing." I love this bag. I used to use this when I was knitting, and I've got so many WIPs now that I've had to start cracking into my knitting bags, like hoisting all my knitting out that I don't do anymore, and I'm going to put it in storage. I tidied it up today because it was on the shelves here and it was just getting so cluttered. So I'm going to put all my knitting stuff in storage until I have an inkling to get it out again. So yeah, I've raided some of the bags, but as some of you know, seahorses are my favourite animals. There you go. I'll try it that. I'll just put my light on there and see if that helps. And this has been my latest stitch obsession. I've had two stitch obsessions in the last week, and this is one of them. So if you don't know about this one, then I recommend you go over to Pine Needles Utah on Instagram and go and check out this freebie stitch along that they're hosting at the moment. It's called Pixie Lane Stitch Along, and here we are. It's these adorable pixie houses, fairy houses. So we have Petunia's Parlour with a cute little swing. This one is Shroom Room, and this one's called Hive Dive. So I talk about this being a fairy's house. I think this is a fairy hotel, and this is where the fairies go to have a drink on a hot summer's day. So yeah, this is going to be a 5-part stitch along. As I said, it's completely free until all 5 parts are released, and then I think it's going to be a pay for pattern, but that's the whole length of the fabric. So yeah, I think the next 2 are going to be quite small. I think the Hive Dive, the middle one, is the biggest. It's gorgeous, isn't it? And again, these flosses are absolutely gorgeous. I plaited it for the photo this morning. And these are some of the floss drops that I've got in the shop at the moment. These are gorgeous, these ones. They're called Flower Garden. And they're all these lovely floral designs. Some spotty ones. There's some in here that are my favourites. And I made it into a ring bling because I loved it so much. These ones. Love those. So yeah, the next part, the fourth part of that gets released tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I'm stitching that with all the called for DMC and what am I stitching out on? 32 count Coffee Stain by Fabric Flair. Okay, the next one is in this lovely bag. This is a bag I made. It's got a stain on it. I need to try and get that out when I wash it. But this is made out of a tea towel that my lovely friend B, when I used to have my knitting video podcast, which was called the Yarn Pigeon podcast, before I had Stitches with Charly Feathers, I made a really lovely friend called B. And she did live in the UK briefly in Devon, but she's moved back to Australia. We still talk a lot. I think she would quite like to start some cross stitching enabled by me. I haven't spoke to her for a while, so she might have already started, but she was really liking Barbara Anna ones that I was showing her. And yeah, I think she's moved back to Australia now. So anyway, she gifted me this lovely artist. It's hand painted. It was hand painted tea towel, and there was all different birds from Australia. This one's a blue wren, and she sent me this tea towel, and I decided to make it into a project bag. And I loved it so much that I asked her if she could go and look for another tea towel for me and that I would pay her for it. And she did give me another one. It must be in my fabric drawers there. I need to have a look for it, but I'd quite like it. Was a red bird. I can't remember what bird it was now. But yeah, I'd quite like to dig that out and make another bag. And then inside I just lined it with some really lovely floral, like cow parsley fabric. And in here I've got another project that I started this week. This is using really lovely, quite similar toned flosses. So it uses 501, 502 and 503. And then a 927, so they're all quite similar. And this is called Sea Hair, and it's by a lady called Wandering Stitches on Instagram. She's got some gorgeous designs. She mainly designs hair patterns. There's lots of hairs with different flowers, like sunflowers, trying to think what else, tulips, which is the one that Sarah stitched, because I'm doing this in a stitch along with cross stitch Sarah and Rebecca Bowen again. We stitch quite a few things together. We're stitching the Stitch a Hair Sale, which is this one, which we started on the 1st of August. And then all three of us are also doing the Stitching Cabin freebies every month. So we've got like an Instagram chat where we always keep in contact with each other. So Sarah's doing the hair with the tulips, and I can't remember which one Rebecca's doing. I think she might be doing the sunflowers one. But as I'm obsessed with seahorses, I thought I'll do her latest design, which is a hair, but it's like a seahorse. And I'll try and put a picture in here of the finished design. Oh, whoops, I've just dropped my floss. I'm stitching this on a 32 count linen, but it's a bit of a mystery which Zweigart this is. I bought it off Sarah in a D stash, and I messaged her and she wasn't quite sure what fabric it is, but it's really gorgeous. It's kind of like peach toned, and this is how far I've got at the moment. This stitches up really quite quickly, and I'm really enjoying it. I love doing that little spiral tail. So this will obviously be the sea hare, which is more like a seahorse, and then these flopping down here are the hare's ears, and then you've got some starfishes along the bottom, some bubbles surrounding the sea hare, and then there's some plant shapes that go up either side. It's really gorgeous. And this needle minder absolutely blew my socks off this week. This was my lovely gift from my friend Anita, who is the Violet Stitcher. She knows I love seahorses, and I asked her in the past where she got her seahorse minder from, and she told me it was from Agnes Little Minders, who actually had an update last night, and I completely forgot. It's probably a good thing, because I should be continuing to watch my pennies for Stitch in London, which is my intention from now until I go. But yeah, she sent me that, and I was absolutely gobsmacked. I found a dragon pattern for her in a charity shop, and I asked if I could send it to her. And in return, she sent me that, and I was just like, amazing. So kind of her, and I'll treasure it forever. And at the same time, I bought the sea hare pattern from Wandering Stitches. She also sells these really gorgeous key fobs. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to show this to you actually. I'll hold it up on some white paper, it might show up. So she's based in Scotland, and she makes these gorgeous key fobs, scissor fobs. So it's got a little hare on it. We're showing that right? Yeah, a little hare and a little starfish, and it's all these gorgeous crystal beads, crystal glass beads. They're so pretty, and it attaches onto your scissors with like an adjustable clip, so it will go up to household size scissors as well. But that one was called sea hare, so I thought I'd buy that to use while I'm stitching. Just a bit more bling. If you know me, you know I like sparkly, pretty things. Okay, this is the next project that I've been completely obsessed with the last week. So that Pixie Lane Stitch Along was the first, and this is the second one. Another recent purchase. This is in a bag made by me, which you've seen before. And this is a kit that I bought. Well, like if you've watched my Flosstube extras, you will have seen this, because I did a Flosstube extra all about the kit. But this is Verdant Canopy from Mel Stitches, and I bought this, as I said, from Heritage Crafts. They had 30% off sale, which actually ends today. So if you want a bargain, today is the last day. And to be honest, like, if it was up to me, this is all I would stitch for another week. But no, I'm going to be disciplined and go back to model stitching. It's just, I just love this pattern. I'm stitching it on the 27 count even weave that came in the kit, and this is how far I got. I'm going to do a stitch with me with this pattern again, because quite a few of you commented and said that you'd like to see that. And it's beautiful because there's lots of blends. There's quite a few blends in this, and it just makes it look so special. And this is my little Totoro pin that I bought from a shop near to me, and I snapped the back off and I made it into a needle minder. I've been a bit naughty and I've been back this week. I was only going to get one, but my daughter wanted a couple, so I ended up buying three. They had three. They were £4 each, or three for £10. So it's probably better value to buy three anyway. I'll show them to you now because I've got them here on my desk in front of me. So my daughter got a couple of little Totoro stickers. Oh, he's so gorgeous. If you don't know who Totoro is, it's from Studio Ghibli. They do some gorgeous Japanese anime that's for kids. So lots of adults love it, including me. and it's called My Neighbour Totoro. So this is the one that I couldn't resist because it's like a little tarot card. It says the star. And then I got the cat bus. And then I also got Gigi from Kiki's delivery service. I love those. Right, what have we got next? Oh, this is another start. Another Sal, funnily enough. So I'm stitching this with Sally, sassy Sally. Sorry, Sally. Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows, and I'm stitching the Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery Samplers. Stitchers Retreat House. And yeah, me and Sally started this last weekend. Sally started it while she was on a retreat. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Mirabilia or one of those. And yeah, colours again are gorgeous on this. I'm using some of my own floss drops again. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this one as well. I've not got very far with it yet, but I'm hoping to do a bit more of this tonight, actually. Now I'm caught up with the now I'm caught up with the Pixie Lane. So yeah, I've just started this bit here. And this is on 36 count vintage gold from Fabrics by Crafty Kate. It's gorgeous fabric. It's a linen, this one. I think it's linen. Yeah. 36 count linen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to that one, actually. Getting back to it tonight. And we're hoping to get that stitched before Stitch in London. I think I'm being a bit hopeful there, seeing as Stitch in London is in less than 3 months now. It's at the end of October. And I've barely made a start. So our plan was to get it finished, and then we would ask our friends to put their names on the bottom, like backstitch them on or something. Okay, the next one is in a lovely, lovely bag from Pauline at Sobe Bags. Absolutely adore her bags. I've got 2 now. They're so beautifully made and really affordable. What have we got in here? Oh yes, feline cats. I have picked this up since I last spoke to you. I took this to Stitch Group at Emma Louise Art Stitch, which I try and go to every fortnight now, unless I'm taking my daughter to art school. But yeah, look at the inside fabric on this. It's gorgeous. It's all like vegetables. It's lovely. So you will have seen this on Yasmin's Flosstube because of Yasmin that I started this. I got enabled by her, but she's whizzing ahead now because she's trying to get it finished for her daughter's birthday. But yeah, it's all crinkled up and dirty. Let's just move that magnet out of the way. Hope I don't keep knocking my microphone. Sorry if I do. So yeah, this is where I've got up to. So I finished the first cat. I've got the tail in on the second one, and then I've just started the third one there. You can see it's going to be a blue stripy cat, but that yellow is so boring to fill in. And as Yaz calls them, bloody felines. They take forever. They're very stitch heavy. I would not go into this project lightly. I don't think you can get the pattern anymore because he has said that the designer's file corrupted and she can't find it again or something. So, and I've got a lovely needle minder on here that Yaz gifted to me recently. Little cat from Maloka. So yeah, I just did a bit more filling of the yellow on the train on the way to Stitch Group, and then did a bit more while I was there. But you know, a little bit of progress is better than none. This is the stitch I'm planning to take to Stitch in London, and Just try and get as much of it done as I can while I'm there. I'll probably get completely distracted by other things, but that's the plan at the moment. Okay, next one is in another bag from Pauline at Sobe Bags. I fell in love with this when I saw it on Stitchy Sally's Flosstube. I had to buy it. So in here, oh yes, in here I've got the Coffee Keepers kit by Andriana, which is I bought from Hobby Jobby. And I'm getting my way through, which cup am I working on? This one, Little Fox. I really love this actually, and I really want to pick it up again soon. Where's my book? I'm stitching this on the Ada. I think it's 14 count that came in the kit, and all the flosses that are called for. So yeah, I've nearly finished the cup. I've nearly finished the little hieroglyphic bit down here. I've just got to do the back stitch steam. But I saw someone stitching one of these on, well, it was Kim who found it and sent it to me, the picture on Instagram. But they'd stitched it on like a really nice, it looked almost like a vintage country mocha, and it looked so nice, and it made me feel a bit jealous that I'd not done mine on that. But I don't really want to start over now. And I have also got the other two kits in this series. I've had these for quite a while. I got them in sale. This one's Coffee Admirers. Love this one. It's sort of like cosmic space themed. And then this one's Tea Keepers, which is equally as beautiful. And my plan is to have them all stitched up and framed in my kitchen. The only thing I didn't like about this kit was the floss card that it came on. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, it came on like a long piece of cardboard like that. I just found it really hard to work with. So I put it on some of my own handmade floss drops again. We're making a dent, people. We're making a dent. This is a bag made by my lovely friend Cross Stitch Sarah, who's being mentioned a lot in this video. And in here we have Miss Scissors, which is the stitch along with Yasmin. This is what it will look like. This is a kit from Nitka, which you can't get at the moment because obviously Nitka can't ship to the UK. And yeah, this is where I've got up to. I don't think it's made any progress since I last showed it on the Flosstube. Yeah, stitching that on the fabric that came with the pattern, which I think is a 32 count flax. Oh, it's all getting a bit messy around me. Piles and piles of bags. Next one's in a boring bag from Home Bargains. I want to sew myself some more bags, it's just having the time. Oh, this is a new start since I last spoke to you. This is gorgeous, gorgeous threads in this one. This is a stitch along that I started with Marianne from Marumi Crafts and Nietzsche. I think I've said that right. Nietzsche from Daybreak Stitchery. I think that's right. And this is a designer called Modcross, and it's called Pansy Balloon, the pattern. This is gorgeous. She took a photograph of a pansy in her garden, and then she made it into a full coverage pansy cross stitch pattern. It's just gorgeous. I really wanted to stitch it on yellow. I will put up a picture so you get a colour picture. I wanted to stitch this in yellow, which the model is stitched on. So I had a good hunt around, and I found a really nice, it's called Sunshine Yellow Even Weave from River Hut Designs on Etsy. I've been eyeing up their shop for ages, and once I saw this yellow I thought I'm just going to take the plunge and buy it, and it arrived, I think it was within 2 weeks, and it is absolutely beautiful. I would definitely buy from them again. Like, the mottling on it is gorgeous. It's fully overlocked, the fabric, and yeah, it's just really soft and lovely. And a little bit of a start on this one. And this is my lovely needle minder from Lauren, Cross Stitch Bunny. She's got gorgeous needle minders. They're probably some of my favourite needle minders. She always has really lovely, strong buttons attached to the magnet on the back. So yeah, this has got really gorgeous, subtle colour variegation in this pansy, but oh, I just love it so much. Another one that I'm just really desperate to get back to again. I'm pretty sure that both Marianne's definitely finished it already. I'm not sure about Nitcha actually. I was watching her Flosstube the other day, and I can't remember off the top of my head whether she'd finished it or not. Just found some floss. Oh yeah, that was the one I dropped earlier. Okay, next one is in my Acorn Fairy bag that I made with my finished cross stitch from Stitchy Princess Black. Oh, and I've worked on this on the latest stitch group actually. This is another of Yasmin's designs that she gifted to me for my birthday. And I took this to stitch group last Saturday and did some filling in. So I'm stitching this on 32 count Zweigart flax, and it's called Love Makes Everything Easy. I'm working off two different patterns for this one because Yasmin gave me the pattern before she'd like finalised the model, so I think there is some changes on this. I'm kind of using both patterns to work out what flosses I'm using and things like that, because I didn't have all the called for and I'd already started it, and then she sent me the updated one, so I got a bit confused. So I'm kind of working between the two patterns to stitch this one. But yeah, I took it to stitch group last week and I managed to fill in all these bits of his tail, and I started filling in some of this section as well. But I think the main bulk of this is done. Once I start doing the border, it will come on quite quickly, I think. Oh, this one is not actually, I have got this in my WIP list. I am including this, but I haven't officially started it yet. But I really want to. It's just finding the time. This is another stitch along that I'm doing with a group of lovely ladies. We stitched the floral design that I've shared in not many Flosstubes ago that I finished. What was it called? Will it come back to me? No, it's not coming back. I'll put a picture in of it here. So we've got a chat group on Instagram and we talk about what we'd like to stitch florally next. And I saw this pattern on Instagram and asked if anyone would like to stitch it with me, and a few of us are stitching it. And this is a design from Cross Stitch Crazy. I can't remember what magazine it's in, but it's definitely on Readly. If you want to know, just send me a message and I can let you know, because I have got written it down somewhere. So this is designed by Maria Diaz, I think, and it's called Vintage Florals. I don't know if I've named it that or that is what it's called. I can't remember. But yeah, I've got it all kitted up. It's on some lovely, lovely floss drops that lovely Kim, my dear friend Kim, from Stitchy Squirrels, she painted these for me with watercolours, and they're absolutely stunning. I did include a few extra ones of mine because I didn't quite have enough for the amount of colours in the pattern, but again, this is gorgeous, gorgeous colours. And I'm planning stitching this on a lovely piece of fabric. It's a linen it's an even weave, sorry. And this is from Cross Stitch Bunny Lauren's shop. I bought this at the same time as the needle minders a little while ago, and it's a lovely grey with these white hearts all over it. And that lovely needle minder was a gift from Kim. So yeah, I'm going to be stitching it on there. And as I said, I'll put up a picture of what that one will look like. But I have included this in my WIP list because everybody else has started it apart from me. So I need to get a wiggle on with that really, because I do really want to start it. I'm sorry everyone that I haven't started though, who's in the stitch along with me. It's just finding the time sometimes and I get a bit distracted. Okay, the next one is Welcome to the Forest. I'm stitching this on 32 count natural linen by Zweigart. I'm using all the called for colours, and yeah, where's that book? I don't think I've worked on this since I last showed it to you. Oh, I've got working threads everywhere, sorry, it's in a bit of a mess. Oh, there we go. So just ignore the working threads. I've just parked a few. And yeah, I'm really loving this. Another really quite large piece. I've changed this yellow bird on the pattern for a black bird. This is a really lovely needle minder that I bought from the Threaded Crafter on Instagram. It's a really nice polymer clay one. I think it's polymer clay. It's ceramic, definitely. Yeah. I'm putting things away as I go, otherwise I'm going to get in a real fuddle. Okay, next one in home bag, which is made by me. Oh, oh no! My little charm that I made has fallen off the zip. I'll just put that back on. What have I got in here? Oh yes, another stitch along that I joined, and I've only got part one finished. This is the Historical Sampler Company. Home is where the heart is. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count Jobelan Antique White. And this is stunning, this pattern. Is it better with that light on or off? Let's have a look. Yeah, with it on. So yeah, I love this, and I will get back to it soon. And I've got this on some lovely floss drops again, made by me. These ones are called Woodland Beauty, and they're so nice. They've got like lots of woodland animals on them, and florals and mushrooms. They've been quite popular in the shop actually, so I really love using them. I love using floss drops. I find them so much easier, you know, to keep track of your excess floss and keep everything organised, and also to use my master stash of DMC a lot more easily, so I'm wasting less and buying less. Okay, the next one is Marion the Librarian by what's this lady called? I always get confused with this designer because the name is similar to that Flosstuber that I watch. Lala D, is that her name? Yeah, so she's called La DD, I think. I got that right. And this designer is called La Di Da. So I always get confused thinking they're the same person. But this is with some gorgeous over-dyed flosses. This hasn't got much progress at all. I'm stitching this on a 36 count latte, which I bought in a D-stash from Sarah, but I'm pretty sure it was dyed by Foxglove and Lace, and this has got such a pitiful start on it. I'm doing this 1/2, and to be honest, I'm not keen on 1/2 on 36 count. Shh, don't tell Sally from Sally Flossie Sews and Grows. She'll be like telling me off. But I'm just not keen on it. Like, I don't like the coverage on it, which I'm a bit disappointed about because it would save me a lot of money in DMC. But I'm stitching the Stitcher's Retreat house in 2/2, even though it calls for 1/2, and I'm much preferring the coverage. So yeah, this is 1/2, and I haven't got very far with it, and I think it is because of that 1/2. I'm just not really enjoying it, and to be honest, that skirt is a bit boring to stitch. Again, I'll put a picture in so you can see what it looks like. But that is such a pitiful start. I mean, I should really try and drag this one out of hibernation and get a few more stitches in it. Okay, next one is in Pretty Things bag. If I don't show you the bag, it's because it's a super boring plastic bag. Oh, this is a Yasmin's Made with Love pattern. It's from her Patreon. I don't think you can get this one anymore. I think she's took it down, but she will obviously be releasing it at some point. And this again is 36 count foxglove and lace that I pinched. I think that's where it's come from. Let me just compare it to the other one. If not, I don't know where this has come from. Yeah, it's the same fabric. So it's a 36 count foxglove and lace latte that I pinched off Marion the librarian. And I'm stitching this 1/2, and again, I'm not very keen on it. I just don't really like the way it looks very much. Sorry, Sally, I know you love stitching 1/2 on 36 count, but it is quite primitive looking, but for me, I just like fullness of 2/2. So again, I've not really been reaching for that one. But it's another one that I would like to crack on with and get it done, and it will look nice once it's framed. Okay, the next one is Miss Coffee. I can see through the bag. And this is in the Do Not Miss a Miss kit, which I was talking about before. It's a 3-part kit from Nitka, which obviously you can't buy at the moment. So you get Miss Coffee, Miss Scissors, which I showed you before, and Miss Tea, which I haven't started yet. So this is what it will look like. Flosses are lovely on the Nitka floss card. And yeah, I have picked this up on and off over time of the Flosstube. Like, it is getting there. But again, it's got lots and lots of working threads which I've parked. But yeah, it is really getting there. I think last time I worked a bit more on this floral outline and filled in some more of the lilac colour. But yeah, she's got a really big skirt on this. That's what's going to take a lot of the time. But once the skirt and the background is done, like, we're making good headway, aren't we? But you know, as I said before when I last shared this, my personal determination is that once I finish those 3 kits, I'm going to be able to buy from Nitka again. That would be my dream. There's so many kits I'd like to buy from there. Okay, next ones are more gorgeous flosses on my own floss cards again. These are some gorgeous metallic ones. Don't think I've got these up in the shop at the moment, actually. Should try and put those up, but the colours in this are gorgeous. Very jewel toned, which is my favourite. Lots of lovely purples and pinks and nice greens. And this one is Una Biena Piazza, and it's called Night Garden. I'm doing the full length version because she does a small and a full length version. And this is on some 32 count even weave, which was antique white, but I hand dyed it myself with Dylon. And yeah, this is where I've got with it. My lovely needle minder, which I was gifted by Wolfie Stitches. Hi, Lindsay. Oh, I so hope Lindsay will start a Flosstube at some point. She's so lovely, and her stitching is just so beautiful. I think she would inspire so many of us. There you go, Lindsay. I'm trying to enable you to do your own Flosstube. And this reminds me of her so much, which is why I put this needle minder on that she gifted to me. It just really gives me Wolfie Stitches vibes. This pattern. Okay, the next one is my adorable seahorse wash bag, which I have made into a project bag. What have we got in here? Oh yes, another stitch along. A stitch along I'm doing with Kim, Stitchy Squirrels, and this is At One with the Sun Sal, which is a pattern called At One with the Sun. It is designed by the Travelling Stitcher, who is on Instagram. She is a lovely, lovely lady. I've had lots of lovely conversations with her. And she's called Magnolia Nest Designs on Etsy. This is what it will look like. I have a colour copy because lovely Kim printed it for me and sent it to me in the post. I have a joke with Kim that she's my personal assistant. She helps me with everything. Oh, thank goodness for good friends. Yeah, she'll print things off and send them to me if I need them in colour and I'm struggling. I send her messages and say, what do you think about this floss toss? Or what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And she's always so lovely and helpful. And if I have ideas for my little business, I always run them by Kim. So I have a joke with her that she's my personal assistant. And a very fine one indeed. And I'm stitching this on a Fabric of the Month Club. Let me see if I've got the tag in here, because I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, I've got the tag. It's March 2023. I can't remember what this one's called. Oh, I think it's Bluetiful. And as I said, it's an even weave 32 count. I'm using the Cool Talk colours. And yeah, it's beautiful. Another one that I need to get back to because it's not that far off the finish, really. Okay, the next one is in a bag made by me, which is an applique free motion project, and it says birds don't worry, they sing, and it's quilted as well. Not very neatly, but it's quilted. Don't know what's in here. Oh yes. Oh, another glorious Barbara Anna. A lovely inside fabric for this as well. I was given this by a lovely lady local to me who mends clothes, and it's clouds with little birds on, and the birds are different colours. They're cute. This is another one that, you know, if I put time into, it's so close to an FO really. This is Madame Butterfly by Barbara Anna, and I'm doing it on a 25 count Zweigart. I think it's sage green off the top of my head, but if not, look on my Instagram and it will say on there. I did it on 25 count. I want her as large as possible. And here she is. Oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, I love her so much. Oh, I want her finished and up on my wall. She's lush, isn't she? Oh, this has just been chucked in an organza bag. This definitely needs a project bag because this is really lovely, and it's got really nice beads in here. Like, I've got lovely embellishments. The Lizzie Kate Things Unseen charm pack. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. So the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched, they must be felt with the heart. And again, I got quite a good headway on this. I took it along last, I think I stitched on it was when I went to Marie and Angie's Stitch Across the Pond, which was quite a while ago now. And I worked a bit more on the border. This has got working threads as well. I love this. I'm stitching it on a 32 count coffee stain linen from Fabric Flair. Oh. Gorgeous. And I'm using all the called for, as I said, the DMC. I didn't want to get the fancy floss for that one. And it's too nice to not have a nice project bag, so that needs to be on my list of priorities. Okay, we're nearly there, guys. We've got 3 more to go. This is another one that I'm desperate to get back to. This was my charity shop bargain. It was £2. And it's, I don't know who it's by, but it's called Cross Stitch Red Rose. Oh, this is all loosey goosey in this hoop. What's that? Oh, it's part of the linen. That's interesting. Yeah, this is 32 count linen by Swigart, and it's grey with white spots. Again, I got quite far on this. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it so much. And there's going to be so much floss, I think, left over from this project. So my plan was to have a giveaway. God, it's in a bit of a mess, isn't it? My plan was to have a giveaway of this kit with the leftover floss when I finish that one, because not only have I got the ones on the floss card, they've also given me these ones as well. It's because on the pattern it says to stitch it with 3 strands, and I'm only doing 2, so I think there will be plenty left over from that. Can start putting things back in the basket now because it's empty. Okay, I've got this in my lovely bag that I found at the car boot sale. It was full of lovely fancy napkins, and I was really cheeky. I said to the lady, can I buy that bag but without the napkins? I don't need any more fabric. And she gave it to me for £1. I love it. My granny shopping bag. This is the Steady Thread Blackwork Sal, which I'm stitching alongside Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny, and I'm stitching this on an 18 count vintage sand by Swigart, and I'm really quite behind in this. I haven't done any more in it since I last showed it to you. There we go, that's what it looks like so far. So we're up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Week 10 I've got up to, and I think the Sal is now actually up to about 30. I have been downloading them and saving them on my Google Drive, but I don't know, I've just got no feeling of wanting to work on that one at all at the moment, but it doesn't matter. As long as I've saved the free parts, then I can just stitch it whenever, can't I? There is people on the Facebook group that are still stitching the one from last year or even the year before, so I'm not in a rush. Right, this one is the last one. And this is another pitiful start. It's the Granny Square Cross Stitch Along by Laurie Holt of Bee in My Bonnet Company. And you can find this for free online. If you can't find it, then just send me a message and I'll try and help you find it. But my idea for this was to use up all the little bits of floss that I've got left over from other projects, you know, that come in kits. So I've got left over from the 4 Seasons, the Nick kit by Barbara Anna. I've got my leftover anchor, which is from Emma Louise Art Stitch Seahorse, and I've got some cotton and twine left over. I don't know why they give you so much. I mean, look how much of that I've got left. Yeah, it's a lot. So I'm just using bits of leftovers to stitch this, but I've not done any for absolutely ages. I did the first one, and then I thought, oh, I can't be bothered with that, and put it away. But I do love the way it looks. And I saw that on, whose Flosstube was that on? Oh, A Little Patience XS, who is Ashley. She made it into a gorgeous top of a project bag when she did, like, I think a line of 7 or 9, and then put them all on the top of a project bag, you know, this bit here. she put it on that bit of the panel, and it looks so gorgeous. And then she used some of her grandma's fabric on this bit. It just looked really, really pretty, and I was a bit enabled by that. There we go, an hour exactly, and we've got to the end of the WIP basket. Nosy. So yeah, just a few bits of haul. Obviously I've not been on Flosstube now for I think the end of June was the last one, so it's been a good while, like six weeks, if not a bit more. So there is a bit. On Sarah, Cross Stitch Sarah's D-Stash, I bought a really lovely Lizzie Kate called Think Deeply. I love this. It says, think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh often, work hard, give freely, and be kind. And then it's got some really lovely little sheep and houses. This reminds me of Sally, the other Sally, Stitchy Sally. And I also bought the Prairie Schooler Prairie Birds from her. I've eyed this pattern up for ages, and then when I saw that she had it, I bought it. And then she sent me this really gorgeous little gift in the post, which was completely unexpected. And it was the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, and it's this foxglove. So you get the floss and the Ada, and you can make a bookmark with it. Like, it's got the pattern paper, so you can make a little bookmark. And it's reminded me, actually, stitching on the fairy stitch along, the Pixie Lane one. It's really given me so many vibes to want to start the Prairie Schooler fairies, which is a pattern I've had in my stash for ages. It is actually up here, so I'll see if I can grab it. But stitching on that has really, really made me want to start it. So I think I will try to soon. This one. And I really want to start that fairy on a blackbird. So that's a plan. These are projects that I've got kitted up that I want to start soon, but a lot of them have been there for a long time. I need to crack on with some of them. I should really stop kitting up projects, because I have good intentions and they end up sitting there for like a good year or so. I'm sure many of you are like that. I'm just going to move some of this cascade tower that's just fallen down. Okay, what else have I got to show you? Oh, I bought this from I don't think I've showed this on the Flosstube. I bought this from the lovely fabric company Elmhurst Fabrics. I've talked about them before. Two lovely sisters that run a really, really lovely stitch supply shop, but I don't mean like cross stitch stuff mainly. I mean like cotton, really nice cotton fabrics, which they source from Aku Factum, I think it's called. Really whimsical sort of cotton prints. They're really gorgeous. And I've bought from them a few times over the years, and like fabric scrap bags, really nice meters of fabric to make a blanket with. And then they shared that they'd been to Germany, I'm pretty sure it's Germany, and they'd come back with Daniela Dresder. She does all the illustrations on the beautiful fabric, the whimsical fabric, and she's got this cross stitch pattern. It's all in German, but obviously you can follow the cross stitch patterns, and this is just such a glorious book. So if you're interested in this, then hop over to Elmhurst Fabrics. I know they did sell out, but I think they've had a restock. They send you the DMC conversion list that's needed for the patterns. And I'll just show you a few pages because it is so whimsical and beautiful. That's one of the ones I'd like to stitch. Oh, there's a girl with geese. Girl on a swing. So I have to be careful I'm not showing you the patterns here. I mean, the photography in this book is gorgeous. I love that one. There's some really nice, like, little lavender bag. This one's lovely. Oh, and I love him. He's spectacular. Look at him. So I seem to be going through this phase of like gnomes and fairies, which is not a bad thing. Like really whimsical things. I am drawn to stuff like that, even in illustration in general. I love kids' illustration, like books and things. That's why I can never give any of my kids' books away. That one's stunning, isn't it? I love the blue and the yellow in that one, in the nest. Look at these two happy ladies. One's doing cross stitch and one's knitting. Look at their little red noses. They're gorgeous, aren't they? I think this one was quite a popular one when they shared it on Instagram. Oh, where did we get up to? Just a few more, I think, and then we'll be done. There's some more like Christmassy sort of ones. I mean, that's not really up my street, but it might be for some of you. I think this one's gorgeous. See, if I was going to stitch a Christmas one, I'd do that one with a robin. What's nice about these is you could just take that section, couldn't you? Just stitch that on a pillow. So yeah, I think that's the end of the book. So yeah, all in German, the text, but you can read the cross stitch patterns perfectly. I was really kindly given another gift from A to V Brands. They sent me the gorgeous Edwardian Lady cross stitch kit. And I have bought from Wool Warehouse some really lovely Murano 32 count in a cream. So I'm going to stitch it on that, because it has got fractional stitches and quite a lot of back stitch, so I'm going to do it on even weave, and I think it will look nice on a cream. And they also sent me some rubber stamps for card making and some die cuts as well. I haven't used those yet, but I'm going to. Last couple of bits. I bought this from eBay, this really lovely kit. I really love this one with the orange flower. So you get both these patterns. I was just really drawn to the colours. The Ada in this is quite nice. I don't know what it is because it's got no selvage on it or anything. But it's really like quite nice. It's crunchy, a bit crunchy, but a bit soft at the same time. I've not felt Ada like that before. And then you get the really nice flosses. I love the colours and the two patterns. I think including postage, I got that for like £7 or £8, so I bought that. Well, I missed out on one that was a bit cheaper, and then I found this one, so I went for it. And then I was a bit naughty, but I could not resist that 30% off with Heritage Crafts. I talked about this in the talking about the kit on the Flosstube extra, but I had to go back and buy Hidden Valley. And lovely Karen from Weedy Flower Creations is stitching this one with me, and we've got a hashtag at the moment on the Instagram for a stitch along, and it's Mel Stitches SAL off the top of my head. But I just couldn't resist it for £30 off, and I thought they'll look so lovely framed together. So I'm enjoying the Verdant Canopy so much, I had to get this one. And sorry, I think I enabled quite a few people to go over and buy them kits. The last thing I've got to show you is another thing that I just absolutely could not resist. I saw it on Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows Instagram, and I thought about it for a few weeks, and I was just like, I've done my model stitching and I'm going to treat myself. So I found this lovely, lovely tin in the charity shop. I couldn't believe it. On the back it says £12. It's a Kath Kidston. I mean, it's a bit knocked here or there, but they wanted 20p for it. I couldn't believe it. So I thought, it arrived on the same day as these threads, or the day after they arrived, and I thought, yeah, that's a sign that I was, meant to have them, because they fit in here perfectly. But it's the new Anchor threads, the new Anchor linen. Oh, I love it so much. Look at them. They're so nice. I'm savouring them. I don't want to start using them yet. There is a couple of greens there. There you go. I got the meadow pack from Wool Warehouse. So you get 12. There's 36 in the set. And you can buy them in 3 lots of 12. So this one's the meadow pack. And included you get a really lovely little freebie pattern, a little lovely sampler, which I think is lovely, which is another reason why I bought this cream, because I thought I'd quite like to stitch that on there. But I'm already eyeing up the other 2 boxes. I really want them. I think the other one's called Mountain. It's got another really lovely little sampler, and there's a Seaside pack. I can't remember what that one's called. It might just be called Seaside, I can't remember. But I'd love to have the full collection of these, all 36. And they feel so lovely. Like, you can tell they've got a bit of like, they're a bit harsher isn't the right word, but they've got a bit more grip to them, you can tell, than cotton like DMC. But I just can't wait to use them. And you get 15 meters. And Willow Crafts, I bought something from them recently. I'll see if I can grab it. But I noticed that they are selling them because Maria Diaz released a really lovely Seaside pattern on one of the latest cross stitch magazines. It might be the latest or last month's. And they're selling all of the anchor linen threads on there, and I think they're £2.50 for 15 meters. That's not bad, you know, because on DMC you only get 8 meters, don't you? And they're now going towards £1. So they are a bit more pricey, but I think justifiably so. And I'm looking forward to trying them. I'm just going to try and find the other thing that I bought. Just bear with me a minute. Oh, it's here. So yeah, Willow fabrics. I didn't know about them before, but I bought this really lovely pouch from them, Knit Pro, and it got these really lovely foldable scissors. These are really interesting. So you do that, and then they push. I don't want to hurt myself. I'll do it on the desk. Typical. I can normally do it fine, but now on with a Flosstube, I can't. I thought I'd cut myself then. That wouldn't have been good, would it? Oh, I have. Hang on. I'm such a blundering idiot. I cut myself. Anyway, they fold down really small, look. Now look at my attractive plaster. What happened was I hadn't quite pushed them down enough to push them in. So, yeah. They're really great. I really like these. But obviously you have to be super careful, make sure they're popped all the way in, and then you can do that. They look like little pair of spectacles. So yeah, I got those from Willow Crafts. I saw them in the Cross Stitch magazine and thought they'd be great for my notions bag for like when I go to stitch in London. But they're really sharp as well. Like, they're really great scissors. And they're not willow fibres. Sorry about the rustling. I'll just do it quickly. I bought these little packs to stitch something for my daughter for her birthday and Christmas, which will be in December. Her birthday's in December, and obviously Christmas as well. But you get these fabric packs where you get the felt and you get the Ada and the backing fabric, and then you get these really sweet little tins. You might have seen these. So what you do is, I'll put a picture in, but you stitch like a little rabbit, and yeah, they're really cute. There's one at the beach, there's one in the night time and one in the daytime. So you stitch them up and then you put them in little tins and they can play with them. They're really cute. So I'll try and remember to put the picture up. So yeah, I bought the 3 little packs to do that for Willow Fibres, and I bought those scissors, and that's when I saw about them selling the linen anchor threads. Oh, I'll just put that there because otherwise it's going to rustle too much. So yeah, that's all my haul, and I'm trying to be good now and try not to spend too much, but that is a few months worth really, and then trying to save my pennies now for when I go to London at the end of October. Right, last thing I was going to share is just about my little coffee shop, Charlie Feathers. So if you're not interested in that, then thank you so much for being here with me and spending time with me. It was lovely to have you, and I hope that you'll come back again. So if you're not already a subscriber, please consider clicking the subscribe button and the like. And if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'd love to have a chat with you. That would be really nice. But yeah, so Charlie Feathers shop is what can I say? It's going from strength to strength, and it's thank you to so many of you. So thank you so much. It means so much to me, and it's always been my dream to have a little handmade business. And I have tried like several times over the years, and some have been more successful than others. Some have been a complete flop, but I've just kept trying. And I think it's just really beautiful that I can, work this around my family life. Because I am a full time stay at home mum, so I can work my little business around my girls. And it's just so nice to be able to show them that you can do what you love, and it brings so much joy to other people as well. So, yeah, thank you so much. And I just wanted to show you a few little bits that I've got in the shop at the moment. I've just released my autumnal range of Flosstubes, which are really beautiful. Yeah, just do a quick flick through. So these ones, and they come in sets of 12, 24, 36 or 48. There's like a little drop down bar, and I've got some of these are actually sold. I need to package up today, but I've got lots of really lovely matching ring bling to go with these. So they're really lovely. I've got some other lovely vintage flowers, which I showed these earlier. I've got some of these sets in there. And there's lots of different decorative paper floss drops now in the shop. I think there's maybe 8 or 10 different styles. So I haven't got an example of all of them here. But one of them is called, what's that one called? I think it's English Garden or Summer Garden. Might be Summer Garden, but some really lovely matching floss drops for those. I especially like that Night Moth one. There's another one called Flower Garden, which is a set I showed you earlier. And there's some matching ring bling for those. Some of these have sold as well. I need to package up today. And then last but not least, I have still got some of my jelly printed ones in the shop. I just thought I'd mention those. There's not many. How many have I got left? 5 left. I really like that hummingbird one. Some ferns, a yellow flower. What's that one? Got some blue flowers. And another ferny one. These ones have got bells and little jingly bells, and they've got a little charm on there as well. The charms are either hummingbirds, sunflowers, or leaves, I think. So yeah, that's all up in the shop. So if you're interested in decorative paper floss drops or ring bling, then please go over and check it out. And jelly printed floss drops. I am at the moment working. Let me just move this tower because what I want to show you is down here. Ooh, I'm glad my finger stopped bleeding. I was actually a bit worried for a minute that I was going to have to ring my husband and say, can you come back? 'Cause you've got to take me to minor injuries, because it was coming out quite a lot, the blood. I had to like hold it up like this with a towel on it and run it under the tap before that, but it stopped, which was lucky. It didn't take long to stop once I put pressure on it and put my arm up in the air, but for a few seconds I was a bit worried. What was I going to talk to you about? Oh yes, so at the moment I'm working on a 61 day challenge. So throughout August and September I'm aiming to draw a set of floss drops, jelly printed floss drops every day, to try and build my stock towards Stitch in London, to make sure I've got plenty of large floss drops for everybody who might want one. And when I finish them, I'm putting them in this lovely box, which is the Goodness Project. I had some lovely vegan snacks and treats in here. It was a gift from my friend Ross for Christmas last year. just in case you haven't seen the sort of things that I make in the past. So yeah, these are Flosstubes, the large size ones, and they're all unique one-off prints. And then I put them together in sets. I cut them out and put them into sets. This one's called One Day at a Time, and it's about having rough, tricky days where you feel like you're on a really choppy sea, and what do you do to nourish yourself? So for me, it's about going out in nature, and spending time amongst birds and plants and trees, and if I'm lucky, stargazing, which has not been happening recently, obviously because the weather's been so dreadful here in the UK. Getting near the end now. Lovely butterfly there. Little pot of tea, because I drink tea and stitch when I'm not feeling at my best. So yeah, that set was all about how I nourish myself, or how we can nourish ourselves when we're not having a great day. I've also got one which is based on seascapes. That one doesn't have any words on, but it was really heavily inspired by that seahorse needle minder that I received this week from Anita. I've done some seahorses on some of the Flosstubes. Another one that is all got several different birds on and nests. This one's called Listen to Your Heart, and it's got strawberries on it and little flowers with bees and some florals and the sunflowers. So all about listening to your heart and listening to your body and what it needs, whether that's rest or to socialise. That's what that one's all about. And the last one, what's the last one about? Just birds, really. I love drawing birdies. Some nice autumnal leaves. More birds. So yeah, I'm up to, well, today's day 6, so yeah, I'm just collecting them in my box, and then I'll have 61 at the end of my challenge. And if you're interested in how I'm getting on with that, then you can follow me on Instagram. I'm sharing my set every day that I draw, and I normally do it at the end of the day to see what comes up for me that day. And then I'll normally sit down about 4 or 5 o'clock when my husband's finishing work. He'll take over with the girls and start cooking, and that's normally when I have peace and quiet. I come up here and I draw what's inspired me that day. So yeah, I'm not going to have, I'll just show you some of the smaller sets as well, just in case you've not seen them before. But I have got a few of these left in the shop. These are small sets of jelly printed Flosstubes. So these aren't doodled on, but they are all unique one-off prints as well. And some of them have got really nice plant details. I think I've got 3 sets of those left, and some more in the making. So if you're interested in them, then head over to my coffee, because once they're gone, and I won't have any left. Like, I won't have any put back in there until I get back from Stitch in London, and whatever I don't sell and I bring back with me, I'll be listing in my coffee shop on my return. So I'm really sorry that I can't keep the shop stocked with jelly printed Flosstubes at the moment, but it's just not feasible at the moment because I've got the stall to prepare for. And yeah, right, a couple more things. I've also been working on a prototype. This one's finished apart from the varnish, but I'd love to hear what you think about these. So these are paper mache, all completely handmade by me from scratch. I bought a little vintage porcelain dish that was like this, from the charity shop not that long ago, and I used it as an art dish, and I found it really useful because it was so light and small. I could carry it around the house. I could put it in my notions bag and take it to like Stitch Group. Yeah, I just found it really, really handy, and I thought maybe I'll have a go at making some of those out of paper mache, because I love paper mache. Love doing it with my girls, although they lose interest quite quickly. So yeah, these are made up with 6 layers of paper mache, and I can only do one layer a day. So they are time intensive in the fact that they take time to make. I can only do two at a time because I bought another bowl. When I made this one, I only had the one bowl to use as a mould, and then it's painted with probably about 3 or 4 layers of acrylic gesso paint to get rid of the newspaper print underneath. Um, and then I've used some napkins, really pretty paper napkins, to cover the outside, and some decoupage paper of a butterfly. And I've got different butterflies that I'm going to put in the centre. So I've got 2 more that I'm almost finished, but I'm thinking about trialing these in my coffee shop, so keep your eye out for those. And then if they go well, I'll make some more for Stitch in London. But yeah, I really like them because they've got like a really I don't know if you can see that, but they're not uniform. Like you can tell that they're handmade, but I really, really like that aspect of them. And they are strong. Like I think I used quite a thick newspaper. Like it wasn't a bog standard newspaper, it was a thick one. And I used about 6 layers, and I think the acrylic gesso has also given it the stability. And I just wanted to tell you about a project that I wanted to FFO. This is also in my shop. This is my first ever design, which is called Monty's Cabin. It was inspired by a mouse toy that I bought for my daughter, a mouse cuddly toy that I bought for my daughter from the charity shop during Flossmas last year. And it inspired me to make this pattern, to design it and stitch it. And I stitched this on a 32 count linen coffee stain from Fabric Flair. So yeah, that pattern is up in my coffee shop if you're interested in that. I just realised that I'd not spoke about it since Christmas, so I thought I'd better mention that. And yeah, I'm hoping that towards the end of the year, when I'm not preparing for Stitch in London, that some more exciting things are coming to Charly Feathers. I'm in the sort of thinking and pondering stage about bringing out a membership box or a quarterly box, which I don't have the details finalised of yet. It's just an ongoing thought process about what I'd like to put in the box. But I'm thinking about maybe investing in PC Stitch when I get back from London and having a play around on it. And yeah, I've got some more designs that I've got sketched out, but I just haven't got the correct software to play around with them a bit more and give them some more thought. So that's something that when my second daughter starts going into childcare 3 days a week, like my older daughter, that I'm going to have a bit more headspace to maybe explore that. So there is some more exciting things in the pipeline for next year. Sorry, that's a lot of information. If you've stayed with me this long, then thank you. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this Flosstube, and if I'm not back with a regular Flosstube, I'll be back with a Stitch with me on the verdant canopy very soon. But I hope you're finding plenty of time to stitch, and yeah, if you're in the UK, I hope you're coping okay with the dismal weather we're having. We've had probably 2 or 3 weeks of constant rain or wind or both. It's been pretty hard summer, like especially with it coincided with the kids' summer holidays. But actually, talking about today, the wind has died down and the sun is actually out today, so let's hope that that continues next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.